Okay, this is my second RGV250, and this is the one that I've added the Zeeltronic totally adjustable ignition box. With this box, you can not only adjust the ignition curve, how the power valves open, how fast, when they open, and also adjust the air solenoids with a simple mouse click. Okay, I have it plugged into the bike. When I plug it into the computer here, I have the program already open. You'll see this one will turn to green when it's connected. Okay, see, it's connected. Now if I turn the key on, these are going to turn blue. Now, if I disconnect this again, the power valves will not cycle when you have it plugged into the program. When it's not plugged into your laptop, what does Zeeltronic do? When you start it, you'll hear the power valves cycle fully open and fully off. You'll hear it. Okay, you heard them cycled. Okay, I'm going to plug it back in again and show you quickly how to program. Okay, it's plugged in. It'll take a second for it to come back up. Okay, we're back up. What I learned, the best thing to do before you do anything is save the program you got. So if you screw something up, you always can go back. First thing you do is you'll click read. Okay, it's going to read what is programmed into the computer. And it's going to verify it. If it gets an error, do it again. Okay, I've got that. So what I'll do, I'll go here and I'll save it. I've already got this program saved. Okay, so you can see over here I'm running ignition map 1. And the top number is RPM. There's 12 points. The bottom number is the timing. Okay, it's pretty basic. You can use this menu here. You can move the whole curve up or down a little bit, or you can do each one, or you can just use this, and if you want to advance the whole curve a little bit or retard it, you can do by just clicking the plus or minus here, or go over here. I mean, endless possibilities. You also can switch ignition maps. You can have a separate one here you've got saved just here. Okay, there you run the second one. Okay, back to the first one. If you have this wired, there's 2 wires in the box will allow you to run a toggle switch. You can get those from the tuning works. Just contact Sean, where you can, on the fly, you can adjust the ignition map. You cannot change the solenoid settings on the fly. You have to do that with a laptop. The solenoid settings I use to help me when I'm at high altitude or low altitude. If I'm at high altitude, I keep the solenoids for the carburetors, then inject air into the low and high speed circuit on longer. Okay, we'll go to the power valve tab. Okay, over here, if you look at the other bike, you've got the closed position and lined up with the closed, then you got middle and high. Well, you can actually do this. Okay, the key is on, so I can actually cycle them by testing and adjusting the value. If the value is not right, it's not going to be fully closed. So you got to play with these numbers. So and I allow a little deviation. So I've got 3% deviation. So what I've got it set up is my closed value is 10. My full open value is 638. So you can go hit test, and this is where you can change it to, say, if it was 200, it's not going to close all the way. So you want to keep on moving the number. I usually do 10 or 20 at a time, and you can hit test. And if there's something wrong, if your number is in the wrong range, it is going to show you an error. Okay, now this is the test open. Now when I hit this, you're going to hear the valves open. Okay, I've got an error here. I've got to make sure. Oh, I had the key off. That's my fault. Okay, now we've got the keys on so it can actually emit the power valves. So now when I go test open, you're going to hear the power valve cycle open. Okay, see, so I've got 638. Now if I had it lower, it's not going to open too far, but depending on you can hear it close when I go that. Now what's important is on the Zeeltronic, you want to adjust, so when you adjust the full, this is full open position. Now if you're running stock box, you ground your wire, you're only grounding to the middle mark. That's the difference you need to know about the Zeeltronic. So that's how you calibrate your power valves. And I have here, you can have up to 8 points, and okay, I'm running map 2. So a map 2, and the top one's RPM, the bottom was percentage the power valves are open. So I've got at 8,000, they're 25% open, 85, 59, 100. So they're opening fast, and I like it because it's like a light switch. You can have them open very gradual, like power valve map 4. So it gives you really good tuning capabilities to make it more rideable. You know, when you want the power valves to open, how long you want them to stay closed, you know, and like I said, you got 8 points, and just with a mouse click you can adjust anything you want. Okay, we go into miscellaneous. You can set your rev limiter. You read the manual, it'll tell you what this TCT mode. Okay, throttle position sensor is enabled, and this is very easy. All you do is, with the throttle closed, you'll hit the calibrate tab, and it'll show you the number, and it'll calibrate itself. You hold the throttle all the way open, hit calibrate, and it's so simple because it's electronic. It's just like a video game controller. You got to have, you know, it calibrated. Okay, and also, like if you've got, you know, a quick shifter, you can put in smart shift that'll, you know, adjust the box so you don't have to pull the clutch in. Okay, down here, this is when the low speed power jets are going to turn on and off. I found it best that I don't even have them on, so I've got it shuts off at 1200 RPM. Okay, you go back to the solenoids. This is the air solenoids. You set it up on duty, not power jet, duty solenoid, and this is when they're going to turn on. So I have them off at 2000. They don't turn on till 5500 RPM, and they're 75% open, and I have it for my altitude. I found that best, and you can tell if you need it leaner, you have them come on more, up to 100% on each RPM point you pick, and you've got 8 points to play with. This really helps with tuning. Another good feature on here, you know, you just need to read and play with it, and you can tell, and you can actually monitor. A lot of times it won't zero. I'm really not sure what causes that, because my power valves are closed and it's showing 25% open, and I've had it sometimes to do that, but they're really close. But this is a real-time monitor, so when you're running, you'll see your ignition vents, your RPM, and your power valve. I'm going to do some research and find out why this is not zero, because I know my power valves are set to 0. And see, it'll show you what position the throttle position sensor is, power jet, the solenoid, this would be the idle, and your ignition map you're running, in the power valve switch. I have the switch light, shift light set off, so you know it can really help you when you're playing with the low speed air solenoid setting. You can tell, you know, what RPM is turning off and on. It just helps with cooling and tuning. It's just a basic understanding of what this ignition system does, and it's just a tool. It, you know, the power map I run is basically this first one here. This is a copy of the 22D30 box. Now I go in where all my files are saved, and I go into open. and I'm not sure where they are. I gotta dig them out, but I have a folder with my power valve, all the different ones I've programmed for different weather. Like if it's really cold up here, I'll run one setting, and really hot up here, I'll run a second one. So that's basically it. It's a good, useful tool. It works really well. And any questions, you can contact me, and I'll try to explain further. Plus, you can contact the manufacturer that can give you, some more, understanding of what this system does. It's a really, really good system. So that's it for now. Thank you.